Telemarketing. We've all heard of it, but how did it get started? How did they used to do it, and how do they do it now? In the simplest terms, it's a method of direct marketing which a salesperson solicits customers to buy products or services, either over the phone or through a subsequent face-to-face or web conference appointment that's scheduled during the call. Telemarketing can also include recorded sales pitches played via automatic dialing. Telemarketing was first extensively used in the late 1970s as the telephone became more widespread and available to the average consumer in America. As technology progressed, it became easier and cheaper for individuals and businesses to make hundreds or even thousands of calls per day. One of the biggest innovations was the creation of the computer automated switchboard. We may take this for granted today, but prior to its invention, when you placed a call, a person called an operator would direct your call by physically plugging and unplugging cords into the correct switch and connect you with the person you're trying to call. With the new automated systems, businesses, organizations, and individuals soon saw an opportunity, which created the concept of telemarketing. Aside from sales, there are several other uses for these automated systems to do things like research or relay political ads. Telemarketing is often done in a call center, but can also be done from home as well. Businesses of all sizes may participate in telemarketing to some degree, and there are several types of telemarketing that exist as well. One of which being inbound telemarketing, which is probably the least annoying type of telemarketing as it's passive and lets the customer come to them. Think of all the advertising you see to place a call to buy something, whether it be insurance or something else. They wait for you to call them first. Many large companies operate this way, relying on external demand to generate sales. Now, outbound telemarketing is really the truly annoying version, although it does come in multiple varieties of varying degrees of legitimacy. Some businesses use leads that are generated through interest expressed by the recipient of the call. This could be the form of replying to an email or filling out a mailer in the old days. These are generally known as warm leads, as the person is already receptive to the sales pitch. Think of things like the call center in The Wolf of Wall Street. They would gather warm leads and then try to sell them stocks over the phone. Now finally, we'll discuss the type of telemarketing that is universally despised: cold calling. Similar to how a warm lead is already receptive to the product being sold, a cold lead is someone who is not receptive to the sales pitch, and it's the job of the telemarketer to attempt to convince them to buy what they're selling. Individuals or businesses doing cold calls usually have a list of phone numbers, along with some other information, that they would then begin calling line by line. These lists are usually purchased from another company's database or obtained through some public directory, like a phone book. Cold calling in today's world more often than not takes the form of robocalls that use computers to both auto-dial and deliver pre-recorded messages. These calls are most often associated with scammers, who may try and tell you that your car warranty's up, or they pretend to be the IRS, maybe Amazon or Microsoft, and they attempt to get you to pay them over the phone. Fraud is rife within telemarketing, and many countries have taken steps to try and stop it with some limited success. In the US, telemarketing is restricted at the federal level by the Telephone Consumer Protection Act of 1991. Some jurisdictions have implemented do not call lists through industry organizations or legislation. Telemarketers are restricted from initiating contact with the participating consumers that way. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission has implemented a national do not call registry in an attempt to reduce the intrusive telemarketing nationwide. Laws against telemarketing often provide heavy penalties on companies who call individuals on these listings. Canada, Australia, and several other countries have similar laws and regulations. However, today most telemarketers operate outside the jurisdiction of these countries. In an effort to push back against these scammers who operate outside the jurisdiction of these countries, there's a whole community of people here on YouTube that is dedicated to just messing with them and disrupting their operations. I highly recommend checking them out.